Your, I guess, ability to just get in there on pump blocks. Is that something you feel like you do exceptionally well, or is that something that you just kind of you've had to work at? How's he feel with that?
I definitely say I'd have to work at it a little bit, but I mean, given my size, I think it makes it a little bit easier. Being small enough to kind of weave in and out of there and try to use my speed. So yeah, a little bit of both.
Can you kind of take us through that play? How it all developed for you? Is that something you saw like right as you got off the line? You saw you kind of had that crease, had that line to get in there.
Yeah, once I got back to the shield, I kind of knew I was going to have it. We only had 3 going at their 3 shield, and huge thanks to Tom and Mashmeyer, Tom Helton and Mashmeyer. I mean, those are the guys that drew the attention of the shield. I had 2 guys come in and hit Tom, which just opened it up for me. So I've been that guy before, and this time I got to be the guy that got cut free.
How often would you say you're in a position to block a punt when you do those drills at practice?
I would say most weeks we have a pretty good plan. It's different every week. That's kind of why punt return is probably my favorite special teams, because it changes week to week, and it's fun, And we have Will Burnham is just amazing at seeing something that we could take advantage of, and coming up with a game plan that changes week to week. So yeah.
What's it take to be a good, block punter? Or I don't even know how to describe the term. To time everything in line of scrimmage and get back there.
I would say vision is 1, and then 2, just having a good get off. We talk a lot about false steps. Can't have false steps. It's wasted time. So just being able to have good vision, make a guy miss, and then not wasting time getting off the ball.
The fact that you were close on the first one, did you feel like they were keeping an eye on you there, and did you do anything different on the second one?
After the first one, I knew we had a chance to get it. I knew I was really close, but that time I wasn't leg side. I was opposite, and so coming from that side, you got to be a little more careful. If I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to get there, I just kind of stuck a hand out because I didn't want to cause a penalty and hit him if I didn't get there. The second time I came from leg side, and like we talked about earlier, I just came cut free, so I knew I was able to just go full out because I was home. So
what's the celebration like when you do help score a touchdown?
Well, my first instinct was, okay, we blocked it. Like, I need to pick somebody up. I need to block them because in years past where we've blocked punts, we sometimes get tackled because either their shield or their punter or someone turns around. So my first vision was looking, okay, who can I block? But I turned around. By the time I turned around, Dez already had the ball in his hand, and no one was going to touch him, and I didn't want to block behind the ball, so I just got to follow him into the end zone, so it was pretty fun.
So did you give him any trouble for picking up when you did the hard part?
Oh, no, I didn't give him any trouble at all. He was awesome at thanking me. He thanked me all Saturday, he thanked me on Sunday, he thanked me on Monday. So, I mean, I really appreciate it. I'm glad that he was there to scoop and score, so it was awesome.
You mentioned feeling like you could get one after the first try, but did you feel like going into the game that you were going to be able to get a piece of one?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always have a chance, and it just depends on how their shield and their punt team decides to block, and definitely after the first one, I would say I was more confident knowing that we had a good chance to get there if we went after it again.
And then you almost got the one before it, but you almost got one after too, right?
Yeah, we almost got the third one as well. That one was kind of similar to the second one. They kind of bumped the punter over a little bit, and so just being cautious of not running into the punter. If I know I'm not going to get there for sure, if it's close, that's when I just kind of stick an arm out. So.
Fearless if you got a big plan at the size you are to throw your body around like that?
Yeah, kind of have to be. Kind of got to be a little bit crazy because half the time you're going to be running there full speed and there's a guy that's 300 plus pounds and is going to be smacking me. I mean, I only weigh 170, so I'd say it's an even match if I get a running start and they're just standing still.
How much do you enjoy playing special teams next to your brother?
It's awesome. It was such a cool experience to play with my brother. We didn't get to play in high school together. He went to a different high school, so I mean, we were out there on kickoff together, on punt together. He almost took me out on punt and had to get out of his way, but it's just a super cool experience. I mean, my dad played here, me and my brother dreamed of playing here together, and grew up, dressed in K-State uniforms playing in the backyard, and now we're doing it here for real, so it's a really cool experience.
What did your dad have to say after the game?
He's just in awe. He's just very proud and thankful for the opportunity that we've got to go out there and play together. I can't imagine what's going through his head. My wife was worried that he was going to have a heart attack when we were both running down on kickoff together, so he was really excited.
Has your dad shared any Missouri hate?
Not a ton, but we do know that it's a big game. So,
Are there some predecessors from special teams that you've observed that you kind of like their style of game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brock Monty's a guy that comes to mind. He was a leader on the unit when I was a young guy. Just really helped instill like what special teams means at K-State and the amount of extra work that needs to go into it specifically. Landry Weber, Ross Elder, Eric Hommel, those are all guys that I think of. I'm like, they were leading the way when I was younger, and so now that I'm an older guy, I'm trying to continue that legacy on.
Going back to that play with your brother, you kind of mentioned he had to get out of the way. You know, he downs it inside the 10 there, and you run up to him after. You look just excited about that as you did about blocking a punt. Is that how you felt there? And kind of see your brother win, is that just as cool?
I was so excited that he got it, and I was like, I didn't know it was him. I was going for the ball, and then I saw just kind of a blur of someone coming. So then I avoided it, and then I turned and I look, and it was, of course, my brother. So, I mean, that was his first college game, and I was excited that he was able to down that. It was really cool.
And you kind of touched on it, but having family history within, I guess you want to call it rivalry. How much more does this game mean to you guys? And obviously, I'm sure you have a ton of friends that are Mizzou fans. Does that kind of add to it as well and stuff like that?
Yeah, it definitely adds to it. I obviously haven't got to play Mizzou yet. Growing up a K-State fan, I remember Mizzou games when I was young. But now, I mean, some of my best friends, Phillip Brooks and Brandon Plattner, I mean, those are guys that I came in with and I'm like really close with, and they're Missouri guys. They're from Missouri, grew up Mizzou fans, and they didn't get a chance. And so it's guys like that that I'm like really excited to know it means a little bit more to them and amps me up to play this weekend.
Would you say,